Welcome to the Spider Cellar. I'm Shayla, and today I'm building Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Okay, not the whole ride, just this scene. To start, I'm cutting pieces of XPS foam with my Proxxon hot wire table to form the main structure of the jail cell. I will need a base, sides, and 2 archways, which are easy to make with this circular cutting board by Shifting Lands. This attachment pops right into the surface of the hot wire table, allowing you to choose the diameter you need, press the foam down onto the nail to secure it, and then just give it a good spin. Oh yeah, this thing I'm holding here is the Guider Pro, also from Shifting Lands, which helps to keep the foam lined up for straight cuts. For the walkway in front of the cell, I'm taking this strip of foam and cutting out a couple of small steps, which is where the dog with the keys will be sitting and will later be reattached to the main walkway. To give a bit of context to what I'm planning to do with all these random shapes, I'm thinking something like this, although this will change slightly as I go. Time for my favorite part, carving the cobblestones. Alright, it's not that bad, but it is the most time-consuming and arduous part of the build. And yes, there are other methods of creating cobblestones, but I like that this method allows me to have more control over the details. Even if that means hunching over my desk for hours and enduring a couple hand cramps along the way. In order to add even more texture to the foam cobblestones, I'm using a crumpled up piece of tin foil to press into the foam as I roll it across the surface. I also like to go over the carved blocks with my X-Acto knife once more, just to give even more definition and detail. I will now hot glue the steps to the walkway, and the walkway to the base, and the sides to the back arch as I prepare to prime the foam. Using this method from Blackmagic Craft, I'm mixing Mod Podge and black paint to act as both a sealant and a primer. Next, it's time to get to painting. Since this is just the base coat, I'm using a medium to light shade of gray, which will allow for more depth when we get to highlights and wash. A little bit about why I chose to make this scene from the Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland ride. Well, it's my favorite ride in the park, and I like pirates. But what I like about this scene in particular is how well it tells a story of its own. The dog holds the power in this scenario, and despite these pirates' desperate attempts to trick the dog into giving them freedom, the dog sees right through their bullshit and stubbornly sits just out of arm's reach, almost gloatingly. While I was looking for reference photos of the ride, I learned that the original concept for pirates was a walk-through wax museum, featuring a multitude of famous villains throughout history. This concept was eventually revised to only portray famous pirates. Before the attraction's grand opening in 1967, several more changes would be made, like the decision to include audio animatronics and to do away with the wax museum concept altogether, opting for the boat ride experience. Also, when the ride first opened, all the skeletons were real and donated by the UCLA Medical Center. Anyway, I'm using some floral wire to make the bars of the jail cell, and some of this rust effect paste to create a gritty texture that resembles chipped or rusted metal when dried. I wanted to add more of a powdery rust feel to give more age to the bars, so I'm rolling each of them over a sprinkling of Vallejo pigment powder, then lightly applying a bit of dark wash and silvery highlights. In order to create the pirates, I used a website called Hero Forge that allowed me to customize figures with different poses, facial expressions, outfits, and accessories, and then download the STL files to 3D print. After a bit of painting, the prisoners are ready to do their time. I snipped a few of the bars that the prisoners are grasping, and am gluing the respective bars to their closed fists. Now to glue all of the bars and pirates to the base and the front archway. To do this, I previously measured the length of the archway and determined the spacing of the bars, then lightly popped each bar into place before securing the hold with CA glue. Holding the front archway in its place, I'm adjusting the height of the bars on the ends so that they can barely push through the foam on the inside of the arch. And I'll glue down all of the 3D printed items. Using some extra cell bars, I'm creating the framework for the cell door, and binding both sides together with a lock placed on the left side. With the build pretty much complete, it's time to glue the main structure together before the soldering. I wanted to give this build the right kind of lighting to further drive the feeling of nostalgia by creating a similar ambiance as the ride. So I ordered 2 ready-made flickering LEDs in warm white and prepared my connections to be soldered. All that's left now is to fix the LED to the lantern, cover the top, and remember, dead men tell no tales. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you want to see me build next time. Until then, bye!